Okay, here we have the open source cat feeder. Now let's take a moment to see approximately how it works. You see that there's this big drum in the middle and there's a funnel on the front. Now I have another drum, which was an older one. You can see it doesn't have some of the same features. The cap there for filling it is not present, for instance. And I also adjusted the geometry of the scoop and so on. But if we look at it, this is the position that it takes normally when it's not doing anything. The scoop is at the bottom. So you have the scoop down here, right? So the kibble goes down there. And then when it rotates 180 degrees. So it ends up like this. And that is enough that the kibble can fall out of the scoop. And it goes into this slideway here. Then it just tumbles down and it comes out the front. So then it just, it has a significant amount of kinetic energy there. So it just sort of tumbles around and shoots out the front of there's the funnel on the front, which screws onto these holes here, and then it just falls into the bowl. So each time you rotate it 180 degrees, you have to rotate it back again, and then it fills up the scoop with kibble. It shakes a little bit just to get the kibble to flow around and get it into the scoop reliably, so that you get the same amount every time. Then it rotates around and dumps the kibble again. So it just keeps doing that. And the new one has a removable scoop, so you can replace it with a larger scoop so that you get more kibble per rotation. Otherwise, it takes quite a few rotations before you get on meal size. But this piece here is just to take up some space and guide the kibble forward to the scoop when there's not very much kibble left, so that you have a smaller dead volume. Now the maximum kibble capacity is, of course, you can't really fill it too high, because then it would eventually escape out the slideway. When it was like this, see, if it was really full of kibble, like up to here, then some kibble would get in the slideway and it would escape, so you'd get too much food coming out. So you can only really fill it up to, you can fill it more than halfway, but only a little bit more than halfway. So yeah, there's that's the way the internal mechanism works. Now you can see that's good because it doesn't jam on you. It's never going to jam. A lot of the kibble feeders, they have a number of problems. Bridging is one problem, where they're trying to make the kibble flow down a funnel, and the neck of the funnel jams because the kibble is not actually a fluid. And that's a common phenomenon, actually, with soil and particles. Corn happens in, those big grain silos and stuff. It's called bridging. And there's a couple of other jamming mechanisms that occur. This one doesn't have any of those, so it doesn't jam. It's very reliable, and it's actually kind of nice that you can dispense just a small amount if you want to. So I'm going to show you the device. Has a Wi-Fi interface. I can just go to a web page on my Wi-Fi network. I just enter the IP address here. Right now it's 192.168.0.17. And I can change the feeding times. It's a little bit, it's not complicated or hard, but it's a little bit arcane. You have to cut and paste and put the information in the text box here. And there's a set of 4 numbers. There's the hour, minute, second, and the number of scoops. So right now it takes 38 scoops to feed. So the scoop is on the small side. But as I said, the scoop is replaceable. You can use a larger scoop if you want to. So if I go serve 1 scoop, it's going to make some noise, and it's going to rotate the drum 180 degrees and serve a little bit of kibble, about 6 pieces of kibble. So of course, Raven goes to eat the kibble. Here we go. Oh, that was more than 6 pieces. It's pretty reliable, but sometimes a little bit of kibble stays in the slideway from the last dispensing. So on average, the total quantity of kibble dispensed is quite consistent, but sometimes it's a little bit more or a little bit less per scoop. But if you dispense 10 scoops, that's going to even out, so it's not really a problem. So, and there's also a way of triggering it. Now, this web page only works when you're home on your Wi-Fi network. But if you want to trigger it remotely from the internet anywhere in the world, you can use the MQTT interface. Now, there's many different little cloud providers that'll give you this service for free. This is one called Adafruit.io, and well, yeah. So I just, if I wanted to dispense a number of scoops, I just say how many scoops. Suppose I wanted to dispense 2 scoops. Then I just go create, and it publishes that integer to the channel. Then the device checks the channel periodically, and if it sees an integer on there, it just dispenses that number of scoops. There you go. Thanks for watching.